Hey, what's going on, y'all? So the comments are already pouring in. People get confused about things, okay? So right away, when I say I would rather let the commercial industry regulate themselves, in no way do I mean I'm just going to let the commercial fishermen just decide that they can do whatever that they want to do. Absolutely not. What I mean is that there is a certain percentage reduction that we're shooting for here, and I'm going to look to the commercial fishermen to decide how they get to that reduction, okay? In no way am I going to favor something that is not equitable across the sectors. Absolutely not. No way, no how, okay? But at the same time, I am not going to go up against science because there's absolutely no point in going up against the science. As I go through some of your comments, we are going to talk about that, but please don't think that I am somehow pro-commercial suddenly. In case you guys have forgotten, I made this video. And if, you know what, if the commercial industry hasn't already killed me yet, I guess they're not going to, but if anybody has given them reason to want to do so, it would be me. So absolutely not. I sit there in a rec seat and I am 100% supporting the recreational fishermen. Have no doubt about that. But I'm going to do that logically. I'm also not going to attack the commercial fishermen or ask for things that are completely illogical, okay? So we do have to stick within the bounds of reason and the bounds of the best available science. And I'm going to harp that at you guys a whole bunch of times, but make no mistake, the best scenario for me going into this would be the best scenario for most of us, and that is that the DMF is making all this stuff up and that there is no problem with the science. This is absolutely one of the things I investigated the hardest, and it is simply not true. Now, if you would like to challenge the science, if you have evidence of issues with the science, I will happily take that on and I will help you produce a video and blow that up to the whole world, man. We definitely need good, sound, fair science across the board for everyone. Bad science is just going to make the whole industry crumble because we're just going to hate each other. Nobody's going to trust what's happening, and everybody's just going to take as much as they can get breaking the law, and that's not going to go anywhere good for anybody. So today was actually a very cordial day, and to further push this point here that there is in fact a problem, we have prominent NCFA leaders, okay? This is the commercial industry, and we also have prominent CCA leaders. This is the Coastal Conservation Association. These are guys that lean towards conservation. These are bitter enemies. They do not get more polarized apart from one another than this, and absolutely no one in that room is arguing against the science, okay? There's a little bit of skepticism here and there on things, but the DMF is not the enemy here. If anything, we're simply requesting that they do better science. And in fact, the DMF would love to do better science if they weren't ridiculously broke all the time. So if you're willing to give DMF more money, then you can probably come up with whatever scientific study that you would like them to perform, and they would be happy to create a new section or to have a new study to push this. However, if you do not like the results of this study, it will not change the fact that it was done, okay? Just because science does not tell you what you want to hear does not mean that it is not good science. And yet again, and this is the last time I'm going to say this, you do have a voice here, but questioning the science will get us nowhere. If you would like to question the science, I am happy to go down that road with you. The DMF is more than happy to go down that road with you. They are very accessible people. If you go there with the intention of understanding what they are doing, understanding who these people are, you will walk away knowing that they are not the enemy. Things do get complicated. There are reasons to question some things sometimes, and of course our own eyes in many places. And I will reiterate this again, and this is absolutely true. In fact, there are more speckled trout right now than anyone has seen in their memory, and this is absolutely a true fact. However, the amount of pressure has gone through the roof. They are being overfished. So the stock is in incredible shape. And I know it's hard to wrap your head around this, okay? But it is. The stock is in incredible shape, but the removals are too high. Again, you have prominent leaders from every aspect of this industry, and no one is disagreeing with this, okay? So anyone who does simply does not know what they're talking about. But for those guys who don't believe it, again, I know how you feel this way. I know why you feel this way, and I'm more than happy to have as long of a conversation as you would like to try to get us to the same page. But as we go forward, again, please, I need your votes. If every other person just tells me some random thing and you do not get together in any kind of way, then I have to just go with my best judgment. Surely you guys can see that, right? I need you to work together in the comments and come up with the best solution, okay? So, and you can't just say, again, I need to cover this better, but we have to meet a certain amount of reduction. We absolutely must meet a certain amount of reduction required by statute, okay? We're going to go back over that again. And again, the stock is not in bad shape. Please understand that the stock is not in bad shape, but the removals are too high. And there are a great many ways that we can do this. Let's talk through some of the more outrageous comments. Here we go. All right, so I'm just going to pull some of these out of there. Look, for you guys who were logical and placed your vote and you understand what's going on, thank you so much. Like James Hutchinson here, I can work with this. This is great, man. Thank you so much for this. I cannot work with just these unsubstantiated comments. Christopher Barnett, look, man, I'm not trying to call you out here, okay? And I totally understand how you feel the way you feel. What I need you to understand here is the difference between NCDMF and the Marine Fisheries Commission, okay? The Marine Fisheries Commission is where the real power lies. The DMF's hands are tied by the 1997 Fisheries Reform Act and the Marine Fisheries Commission, okay? So they are forced to make recommendations that meet a statutory requirement. And you are absolutely right, man. Historical harvest for flounder, for stripers, for river herring. I made a whole long video about this, explaining all your exact points, arguing the exact same points that you're making here. I totally agree with you. In the past, it caused decisions to be made where the necessary reductions to actually make that reduction were not made, or rulings were passed that said we were supposed to make a certain amount of reduction, and then we just kept going over it again and again. But this is not the fault of the North Carolina Department of Marine Fisheries, at least not as it exists today, okay? Please believe me. Again, we have prominent members from both sides of the fence here, and no one is disagreeing with the DMF, okay? So again, if you want to have them do better science, then we can call our senators and we can ask for more funding for the DMF. But you have to get involved. You can't just make these unsubstantiated claims. If you would like to do that, again, if you would like to challenge it, please get with me and we will go forward and we will challenge whatever science that you want to. But you have to give me, there has to be a resolution, man. There can't just be these unsubstantiated claims, okay? It has to be, this is what's the problem and this is what we need to do about it, okay? And it has to be something that you're actually willing to follow through on, not just a comment, okay? All right, we got J-Dub here, and J-Dub is talking about what he would like. So, 2 16 to 20 inch trout will not feed a family of 6 that would like to have a fish fry. I absolutely understand, okay? A slot limit of 16 to 20 as well, he mentioned. So we actually set that slot limit of, they set that slot limit, I say we, the DMF set the slot limit of 15 to 20 inches because at 15 inches, all female trout have spawned at least one time. That's, if you look at that document that I went through, that is the F100 value, okay? So that means every female trout has spawned at least one time, and that is a great metric to use for deciding where this is going to wind up at. It says, if you're not willing to argue the science, especially when it comes to release mortality rates and wreck harvest, the battle is already lost. Okay, man. The device that you're typing this into on exists because of science, okay? Again, if you want to challenge the science, then we can challenge the science. We'll do that. But we need science being done, okay? Release mortality in particular. Now, I'm not going to argue if you have some kind of problem with the total rec harvest, right? That is the MRIP program, and you can certainly argue that it is not good enough. I have good news for you, though. There is a new law that has passed that is going to require mandatory recreational reporting, and spotted sea trout is on the list of fish where you have to report that. So you're about to have much, much more accurate numbers, and you should be happy about that coming. Release mortality, though, the release mortality rate has been done again and again and again by different states, by independent entities. If you go look up Speckled Truth has a podcast and a YouTube video. Both are wonderful, and both result in that same somewhere between 10 and 20% of fish that are released are going to die. I'm wrecked through and through. Please understand that I am absolutely on your side. But that 10 to 20% number, it's real. And it's actually, it's not very high. It's not like we're saying that every single fish is dying. It means you catch 10 fish and one dies. And again, it heavily, heavily depends on angler skill. So if you're somebody who has been trout fishing for a long time, which if you're commenting on this, you likely are, and you are up the back of a creek actively fishing a plastic with a single hook, you're probably catching 40 or 50 trout for every one you kill, okay? But based off the numbers, this has to be a guess. It has to be a guess. If you want to give the DMF $10 billion, then we could actually count every single thing that's wrong with every single fish. But again, quantifiable means something that we can count. We have to turn it into numbers in order to make an estimate so we can guess what is going to happen in the future. The only alternative to even more science, which is going to cost even more money, is simply doing nothing, and you can guarantee that's not going to get us somewhere good. Greg Johnson, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting me what we asked for, and that is more than a 30% reduction. Okay, so, and Greg Johnson, man, this is going to put us in great shape. I'm totally happy with this. In fact, talking to the biologist today, we can probably get away with a lot here. I just don't want to see us make a mistake, right? If we're going to make a mistake, I would rather see too many fish than too few fish. But thank you so much. Jerry C., thank you. Again, you didn't make an actual selection there, but I'm just going to lump you in with Greg G there. So again, I very much appreciate the support, but you got to be specific, okay? And we do have to meet the restriction. Real-time fishing, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please restrict gill nets. Okay, so we are going to talk about gill nets tomorrow. It's the first thing on the docket, okay? We are going to be talking about gill nets. I promise you, I am not afraid of the commercial fishery whatsoever, but I am not just going to mindlessly attack them either. We're going to sit down and we're going to do our best to talk like grown men and women, okay? And I will let you guys know the outcome of that as soon as that meeting's over. Saltwater 4892. Hey, man. I'm gonna actually reply to this in a second. All I know from my experience, once DMF takes it away from rec fishermen, it never comes back. You know what? You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And that's what I was talking about before. We've always been very light-handed. So the reductions don't meet the reduction requirement, which causes us to need more reductions. Okay? That's it. Couldn't agree more. Don't believe the science. Look at COVID. Ron Parr. Okay, man. Okay. Again, baseless conspiracy theory. You got to give me some kind of evidence, man. You got to give me some kind of evidence. This doesn't take us anywhere, okay? So I can't do anything with this, all right? I can, however, do something with your opinion on the reductions that we need, all right? We don't have a vote, and neither do you. DMF are going to do what they are going to do. Nothing is palatable. Okay. Ron Parr, again. Okay, Ron Parr, 25 years later. Okay, Ron Parr. Okay, we have an operative here, folks. We have an absolute operative. Let's just heart every single one of his things here. Hold on, was he on any of the rest of them here? Where is he at? All right. So this guy's just trying to muddy the water, man. He's trying to muddy the water. I have to assume that this guy has a serious agenda, and he's saying these things that are just baseless conspiracy theories. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to cause people to try to argue with him. So please, nobody respond to this guy whatsoever at all. Okay. Don't be naive. Come on. You know, our vote means nothing. Okay. So again, this guy has an agenda. Ron Parr, I can't. And even if you don't have an agenda, even if you're not here, oh my gosh, more. Okay. This guy is, holy smokes. This guy is definitely an operative. All right. This is what people do. Okay. He's trying to make it look like these are what all the comments are. And he's trying to sway the public opinion on this. So even if you're not, then you're a man. I can't do anything with you, brother. All right. Reed Lewis, 2151. There's more people fishing for trout in inland waters for numerous reasons. One reason is because fuel is so high and fishermen can go burn less fuel by going to the spot and using the trolling motor or just simply anchoring up as opposed to using a large horsepower engine. Okay. Reed Lewis. Hey man. I'm not saying you're wrong in any way at all, but could you please give me your opinion? Okay, so guys, look, this is where we're at. Okay, if you don't give me your opinion on what management measure you'd like to see, then I can't take that up there, and you're going to leave me to just make my mind up on whatever I think is the best. Okay, I need a decent majority of people here. So we're going to stop there, though, but gillnets are first thing on the docket tomorrow. I am going to come back and I'm going to tell you guys what the result of that is. And there's probably going to be some fireworks tomorrow. So just be ready. Anybody that wants to have a conversation about this, you can message me here. It might not be until the end of the AC that I can respond to you, but I will get back to every single one of you guys. I will address every single comment. If I miss any, just comment again. Okay. I want everybody involved here, and it's going to take a lot of us getting together and sitting down like men to make a decision that's going to have an impact. Okay. We can move together. We can change things if we move together. There's 400,000 something odd licenses that are purchased in the state of North Carolina. Okay. 10% of that is enough to absolutely roll this system if we just get on the same page.